Morning fret friends, different angle today because we are very early morning, it's very dark outside. I've been in here since about 5:30, it's now 6:45 in the morning and I'm just about to start the first project of the day and here it is. It's a Faith guitar, don't know the model, it's from a regular client. I say regular client, I've not seen him for just over a year, and the model, oh serial number, doesn't say model, where is it? Oh right, it's a Neptune Electro Cut High Gloss Series FNCEHG Faith, blah blah blah, designed in England, United Kingdom by Patrick James Eggle, handmade in Indonesia. Fine looking instrument, these are held in very high regard. Never owned one myself, but yeah, looks the business. So why is this coming? It's just coming for a setup. So first hand, what do I think? Action's too high. I'd imagine we're going to lower that just a little. Plenty of material on the bridge or on the saddle here to remove some from underneath, which is what we're going to do. Neck, I've not checked the straightness of the neck yet. I'll have a look at that. So we're just going to have a look at the action. We're going to restring it. We're going to test the electrics, and that's going to be it. A Fishman Ink EQ pickup system there, INK. Never heard of that one before. There's some gubbins in the case over there. Tell me all about it. Not in, that is not, I'm quite OCD. That is not in straight for me. That could be half a degree off and I'd notice that and I won't be happy about it. But yeah, fine looking instrument. Don't know the retail on these. Don't we start at like 300 quid and zoom up to about 3,000? I don't know. Absolutely no idea. Weren't these once part of, no we're not, the Patrick Eggle type things. Okay, so I imagine it's Patrick Eggle kind of budget brand, but there's nothing budget about these. They do have a lower budget line. I think these took over from where Tanglewood left off a few years ago. Tanglewood used to be made, I'm sure they were made in it, either in Korea by a British company, and they were pretty high spec. The older ones were anyway. At least I had some of them, and I think they dropped down a little bit. Don't quote me on that, but anyway, beautiful looking guitar. Needing what I said it needs. Frets look to be a little bit flat. I've not looked at the frets properly. In fact, I've not looked at anything. I've just had it out of case for the first time. I do have two guitars in from this guy. He bought me three the other year as well, year before last, back end of 2019. He's got Gibson Les Paul, Blood Trans Amber, Burst Booker Pro, Seymour Duncan 59, net core split. Upgraded the bridge too, but messed up the holding screw one side if you won't mind sorting. Okay. Right, strings, tune down to E flat, drop C sharp, right, there you go, prefer the action lowest if possible. Second one, Faith acoustic, just need to set up the strings lowering. There you go, exactly what I said. Plenty of bridge if you need to sand down, provided the strings, standard tuning on that. So that's what I need on that. I will have a look at the frets, I'm hoping they're going to be alright, nice couple of quick ones today hopefully. So I'm going to crack on with that. I'll have a little play of it first, see what I think. We'll get the strings off, we'll get the neck down straight, we'll look at the frets. And we'll have a saddle off and shave some off the bottom. I've determined that the action on the bass side is a lot higher than on the treble side. Treble side we have the top E string, or string 1 as they oddly call it. It's about, the gap between the top of the 12th fret and the bottom of the string is about 1.5 millimeters, which is as low as I would want to go on an acoustic. But this side we're looking to be almost 3 millimeters. I would certainly like to get down to 2 millimeters, so if I'm dropping a millimeter off this, I need to drop 2 millimeters from this side of the saddle, which makes sense because this being the centre, not centre bridge. It's how we determine the scale length of the guitar, it's how we get the intonation right. So I'm going to be dropping about 1 3/4 millimeters off this side of the saddle, nothing off the far side, so I'll have that out and we'll get some, we'll get it all sanded at the bottom. We'll remove the material just from one side, so we're going to be cutting like a cheese wedge off there. The neck itself, I'll just loosen the strings. That is, it's not dead straight, but it's close. I'm just going to loosen these strings a little bit more so you can get all the tension off the neck. We'll let it settle for a few seconds. I'm just going to whiz across with a fret rocker just to see if we've got any high or rocking frets. On a job like this, if it's just a couple, I'd like to think we can just do the frets, we can spot level. And we'll charge something like a $5 for each per fret rather than do the whole lot. Right, okay, I'd like to have a look at that. That neck is straight with no tension on there. I'm just going to take my trusty GMI fret rocker. And we're just going to scoot across the middle of these for now. We're not really going to get a proper reading until we get the strings off and the neck dead straight. But I just want off an idea. We have a high fret there, fret 9 I believe. That could cause problems, well, it will cause problems, so we're going to sort that one out. We're going to fret 13, fret 16, so that's 3. Oh my gosh, this one at the end. Fret 17, fret 19 is as high as a kite. Now it doesn't really matter. I like to have the last one a bit lower anyway, so we're not going to worry about that. So we do have 3 high frets, which I'm going to sort out. That's way high, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anything. So I'm just going to scoot across the edges while we're here. Nothing. Don't think there's anything major to worry about. We need to just scoot across a couple of frets. 3, probably 4 at most. So we are going to, I'll work out the price in a minute. If I'm going to be doing 3, I'm going to charge 20 quid for a fret. If I'm going to be doing 4, I'm going to charge 70 quid for a whole lot, including a setup. Setup on an acoustic, there's another one there. Setup on acoustic, 40 quid. We need saddle work, we need fret work. So we're going to be looking in the region of £70 for this, all restrung and everything with the frets all sorted out. Absolutely fine there. So yeah, nothing major to do. I don't think I need to look at the nut slots. Okay, maybe a little bit high on this side, so we'll look at the nut slots as well. So we're going to be looking at removing some material from the bottom of the saddle, cutting the nut slots, levelling 3 or 4 frets and restringing it. We'll check every nut, bolt, screw and everything on there. We'll check the electrics as well. And yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty standard. So we're getting a fair bit lighter now. We've got daylight, so I'm going to move this over to the regular bench shortly, because that way it gives me a better camera angle. You're able to see me and the guitar. But anyway, I've just altered the truss rod. It's a 2-way truss rod, which means you can alter it both ways, so you can get back bend in it or you can get bow in it, whichever way you want to go. I've got the truss rod loose at the moment, and when it's loose like this in that middle section, the neck should be dead straight, and in this case it is, which is absolutely fantastic because that's how they should all be. Not all of them do work this way. There's just a little bit of backbone in there, I think. Let's have a look. Tiny, tiny bit. Just going to ease that back. A small amount if we can get the Allen key in. Just going to turn this back. It's just nipping now. And I'm just going to get about a 32th of a turn. And let's just have a look there. Make sure we've got no back bow. We've got a tiny bit of relief. So we are going to need this in the middle position. So okay, we're fine there. We're in the middle position between the two, between tightening one way or tightening the other. I'm happy with that. Now the problem with having the camera where it is right now, you're not going to see what I'm doing unless I stand out of the way, which makes it awkward for me, but I'm going to stand out of the way. And we're just going to go across these frets with the fret rocker and just see exactly where we are, because sometimes it can be, when we've got the neck dead straight, we don't get any old frets. But this is appearing to be the case right now. And if that is the case, and we don't need to work any frets, it's going to knock some money off. Okay, we've got one there. Oh, okay, we have 2. So we do need to work some frets. We knew that one was way high. I'm going to knock some money off because there's only 2 frets. It's the same. Oh, there's one. It's not the same one as before. I'm going to knock 10 quid off. So what I'm going to do is for 60 quid. Which again Russ will be happy with that. I already told him 70, he says yeah, that's fine, not a problem. Just straightening the neck can alter how the frets sit. This is still saying 2. Oh, that's the third one. So we're looking at 2 or 3 frets. So I'm going to knock 10 quid off. I'm going to do this for 60 quid. It's 40 quid for your setup. And you've got your frets and your shaving of your bridge and everything. So yeah, we're going to say £60 on this with a restring. It's tension strings. Item EJ16 3D. Don't know what that means. Don't know what gauge they are. I imagine we're going to be something like a 1254, something around that kind of area. I know we had flat strings on it before. So that's it, that's where we are. So we saved a little bit of money there. I'm going to crack on. I'm not really going to show anything. I've already got the saddle over in a vise over there, ready to shave some off the edge, just off this treble side, not the bass, just off the bass side, not the treble side. We'll take about 1.5 millimetres off this side, nothing off that side. And it's pretty straightforward. It's in a vise. I'm going to file it straight across and I'm going to sand it and we're just going to keep checking. Pretty simple. Then what we're going to do is we're going to treat the fingerboard with some mineral oil a little bit later after I've levelled the frets that need the work. So I'll just be taking a file and I'll be re-crowning, just using my crowning file. Like I say, these videos are for my record and for the client. They are not how-to or instructional videos. But people keep coming on, keep saying camera angle's not right, I can't see what you're doing, this, that and the other, and I'm going, yeah, these videos are for me and the client. And then they come back with something leery like, why put them on YouTube then? And when I get to that stage, I'm just thinking, fuck off, you know. But yeah, it's just the way it is. So I've had to put a disclaimer on my videos now saying these are not instructional or how to, they are for the client and they're for my reference. And I'm just, you know, fortunate that people like watching them and YouTube pay me for it. So there you go, so that's cleared that up. Exciting day. I've had some tools delivered from Stumac, or a particular tool arrived from Stumac, which is, it's always exciting. It's always difficult to prize yourself away from a new tool, but I have done. So back on the normal bench, I'm just going to check these frets I need to work on again. So there's 2 of them. Checking the areas. I've marked them in black pen and there's one here. So what we're going to do in this instance, we're just going to spot level them, and I'm not going to go this way as you would normally do because it means I'll be scratching up all the other frets and I've got to repolish everything. I'm just going to go that way, in that direction. And to do that I use a slightly different file. Well, I use a different file. I'm just using a real smooth file, which is my Valorbe Swiss made number 4 cut file, and I've got to replace this because I broke it in as much as I've been filing stuff like with glue on, and the glue has got stuck in the cut, and so as great a file as this is, I can't get that out, so I've knackered it. So to buy a new one. They're something like 23-24 quid. I've had this one 3 years. I'll just go and buy another, but I won't file glue with it again. In fact, I wasn't filing, well, I was filing glue, I was filing epoxy that I used on a body repair, and it's clogged it all up, and I can't get it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 2 files. I'm going to level with this one. It still cuts on this side, which is fine. I normally tape this up, but because I know my hand's that steady, I'm going to do it without taping it up. I'm just going to basically glide following the arc or the radius. You see I've got a cloth taped on this side just in case I do slip and ding with the file. I won't slip or ding with the file, but what I'm going to do is going to make sure it's straight or level, and steadily I'm just going to remove the pen. And I'm experienced enough to know how to follow a radius with a file, and we're probably going to find that that is enough. I just ever so slightly dab the body of that file there. It's not marked anything. Very fortunate there. Need to be careful of that. So again, mark the file. gliding across quite smoothly, so I think we've got it nice and even there. And there you go, we have removed that bit of height there. Oh, still a little bit more there. Just in this area, need to hit it a little more, wipe the file again. Feels quite nice. And there you go, we have removed it. Now still got a tiny bit of rock there just in this area. Keep going. And that's nice. And once we've done there, once we've got it level, we're going to take the diamond file. I believe this is made by a company called Elmer. I do have Strumac ones of these now, which I'm really looking forward to using. Strumac I can trust much more. But this is just to put that crown back in the fret, where I flatten the top there. And that feels beautiful. You can see now it's got a little bit dull. We're going to need to repolish that. We'll get it all polished. We're polishing all of the frets anyway. Still a little bit of extra height on there. And we'll go again, take his time, spot leveling this. Quite hard frets, I'd imagine this is probably 18% nickel silver, which is good. Again. Still too high. This one's up now. We've removed material from here. We're a little bit high on this one. So we're going to go across the whole one. Wipe the file. And that can be the problem. When you remove material from one, it alters the relationship with two either side. This side's okay, it's just this side. So again, be very careful. That side done. Just this edge. Pleased with that, that's those two done. Just going to re-crown this one. Tiny bit of height, just there. Yeah, we'll keep going. We will get there. That's pretty good. Very cold in this workshop today. I've got a heater there. I've got the heater on. I've got the central heating on in the house.
My cart is outside, covered in ice. The street is covered in ice. I've got a, my Jag is rear wheel drive, so I'm not even going to attempt to move it in this weather. It's staying there with the cover on, so I can't go shopping or anything. Not been shopping since a week last Sunday. Very short on supplies. I'm going to have to walk out to the shop. Luckily we've got a an Aldi and a Morrison's within walking distance. I never take the car out when it's icy. It being a rear wheel drive, it's all over the place. I did want a 4-wheel or an all-wheel drive, but the only Jag model we do all-wheel drive that I know of is the X-Type, and I did not want an X-Type. In fact, I wanted an XF, but I settled on an S-Type because I got a good price on it. Great car, just not good in the ice. But anyway, back to the right, so those two done. Got this one to do. Okay, let's have a little go on this one. Sometimes they take a bit of filing, other times you can just scoot over and strike and you're out. And that one's just fantastic. A couple of swishes with the file and it's done. So that's it, that's the 3 frets done. Pretty happy with that. Not difficult at all. Just going to grab some tape because we're going to give a couple of swishes of mineral oil. We're going to treat the fingerboard. I don't want to be squirting anything into the over the guitar body or into the sound hole, so we're just going to cover this up. There. Protect that area. Protect the headstock. And give it a little squirt. Some of this gear, people say you shouldn't use this. I say hogwash. I've been using it for years, not a problem. So it dries the guitar out, this, that and the other, doesn't treat the wood, blah blah blah. Especially formulated by Dunlop and Diodario and PV and who have you, Kaiser who made this. I think they know what they're doing. I tend to trust what I've been using anyway, so yeah, whatever. I've never had a problem using this stuff. We'll let that soak in, treat the wood, lift out the grime, we'll get it wiped down in a bit, get any grime off here, any sweat that comes off your fingers will all be in there. And while that's doing its stuff, I'll get a fingerboard protector and I'll polish these frets. Don't need any major polishing on these, just going over with steel wool's going to be absolutely fine. I'm not even going to film it, no need. That's that done. I'm going to let that soak in 10 minutes before I hit the frets anyway, so there you go. Once that's done, we'll get some strings back on. I have already, sorry, I meant to mention earlier, I've already filed the base of the saddle. Can't get it out. Stuck it in there. So I can just coax it out. Yep, we've got it out. And there you go. And you'll see that this side now is a lot lower by about 1.5mm. It's going to be absolutely fine. Stick that back in there. Press it in place. And there you go. I'm just wiping a little bit of mineral oil just over the actual bridge. Made of the same wood, rosewood I imagine. Could be ebony, I don't think it's ebony, it's just some really, really nice rosewood. Got beautiful grain coming through it. You're going to see more of this grain once I get this oil off and get all the grime off. Anyway, there you go. So I've explained what I'm going to be doing. Just going to be polishing these frets up, wipe the fingerboard clean, get the grime off there, and we can stick some strings on. I've got the old strings, I kept hold of them, just so I can set it up using the old strings, just so I can check the height of the action above the 12th fret, and then if I'm happy with everything, we'll take those off, we'll put some new strings on there, and we'll be good to go. I've decided to go straight in with the new strings, roll try go because I've looked at the saddle compared to how it was, and it's looking to be pretty much spot on from a mental picture I had in my head. So I'm going to stick these strings straight on. I'm then going to have a look at where we are above the 12th fret. I'm thinking we're going to be pretty much where I need to be. Hopefully I've not gone too low on that, because if I need to go higher again, I'm going to put a shim under it, and that defeats the object of what we were doing. So I'm just going to check these strings. I don't know what size they are. I'd imagine it's something like 1254s. I will go and have a look in a short while. But I'm going to get strung up. Just going to put this first one on camera, just so I can see. These are really light, almost not quite golden, but a copper, a mild copper colour, I would say. So let's make sure we get them in right. Not many people show you how to stick strings in right. You always want to put a bend in the end, there. And you want to be going with the barrel that way. Not that way, because it's going to chew. It'll chew these up. You want that, but want this going like a wheel, going in the same line as the pin. I'm thinking. Or do we do it the other way? I can't remember now. I forgot myself. Anyway, let's just get it in there. Because you don't want it chewing these pins up. I'm thinking, no, you do want it sideways on. Anyway, bang it sideways on, see where we are. There you go. So I'll put a nice little bend in the end there. And I like to go round the back at this end. So I like to start with half a twist already. And about there is pretty good. I like at least one complete turn on the bass string. I do like turns round posts when it comes to stringing the guitar. I don't like trapping them locked like Taylor do. I do like to see turns around posts. I always have done. And there you go, we've got two good turns around that post there on there. And just looking at where that is already, I'm thinking that's pretty good, pretty fine, pretty close to where I need it to be. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm glad I went straight with the, decided to go straight in with the new strings. So I'm going to get this strung up and just have a look at where we are there. Yeah, that's looking beautiful. Let me just have a quick measure of that. Not that it's going to give us a true reading just yet, because we've got to take into consideration the tension of all the other strings. But there we are looking at about we're definitely over just over 1.5 mil. So we certainly are low enough on the bridge. But we're going to the neck is going to pull up anyway, so we're going to get to about, once you get some relief in there, we are going to be looking at about 1.75. So I'm really happy with what I've done there, the way I've cut that. I think we're pretty much spot on. So I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to get strings on. I'll get them stretched in, get it tuned in, and we'll see where we are. Should be pretty straightforward this. Well, this guitar did not take much at all. I put the saddle back on after removing some from the bottom. Didn't really measure anything, did it more or less by eye. I kind of knew where I needed to be with it. There's a little mark on there. Got it straight back in. It's absolutely perfect. Everything is absolutely fine. So I put the new string straight on. I don't need to touch the nut. The action at the 12th fret with the amount of relief I want, 0.25 millimeters at the 6th fret. We have a 1.75 mil gap on the bass side and 1.5 on the treble side. That is absolutely perfect. It's as low as I'd want to go on an acoustic, but it is done. It's fantastic. So I've got the right amount of relief in there. Don't need to touch the nut. I've cut the saddle, I've set the guitar up and restrung it. I've also levelled and crowned 3 more frets. So knocked him a tenner off. I was going to charge him 70 quid, charging him 60 quid. The guitar is absolutely beautiful. Sounds fantastic. So that is it. It is done, and I'm not going to faff about and just gab on for no reason because I've got loads in the workshop at the moment. So I'm just going to tie this video up. Just before I do go though, I'll remind you of my website, facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I'm Victor. I am your fret friend. And until the next project, God bless you. Be good to each other. I'll see you in the next one.